Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction. As I promised you on my last video that about 4 weeks time Canada is gonna turn into gray, muggy and whatnot. It's happening. It's already gray. The sun is gone and it's a little bit of green left. It's about time that it's gonna go away. Anyway, first of all, I would really like to thank all of you that hit the subscribe button. I just hit 1,000 subscribers. Woohoo! I got my monetization back. Woohoo! You know what that means is I'm going to have a little bit more funds in my hand, and I'm going to have a little bit more fun spending them on my babies. What it means for you guys is a lot more interesting video coming. Just hit the subscribe button while you're already here. Alright? 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 Now, a challenge to you guys is if I get 200 likes in this video, I'm gonna shave off my beard. Alright? Alright? I will do it. Hit the subscribe and the like button, and I'll do it. Challenge. Today's video is about a detailed walk around of my daily driver 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe. So let's start from the passenger side door. Over here you have these standard controls: rear window, front window, door lock, window lock, and the side mirror controls. And over here you have your own manual door lock. Very standard, very simple. One thing I am going to point out is this space over here. It doesn't look big, but it's pretty big. I can put 4 water bottles in here, and I drink a lot of water. You can put a lot of stuff in there and it will fit. Starting at the driver's seat, it's a very, very comfortable bucket style design seat. It's not a sports racing seat, but it's an upgraded bucket style. So you have the side supports, which are very good, and the lumbar support. You do have a lumbar adjust. You have an adjustable headrest, which is pretty hard to come by these days. You press this button on this side, it goes front and back. It's very helpful for me because I do get a neck pain of sitting for over 8 hours a day on the car. What you have in here are all the important controls. First of all, you have this instrument gauge cluster dimmer. You can go this to reduce the light. You can go that to increase the density. This button starts the hill descent control. Let's say you're coming down a hill, you want to control your speed. Especially it does in lower speed, let's say 10 or 15 kilometers in an off-road kind of situation, not necessarily coming down a hill on a highway. Your trusted traction control button. And then what we have here is the active eco. I don't exactly know what it does. All I can understand is it makes the car a little sluggish. So I believe all it does is it softens the response in your accelerator. So when you press it hard, it doesn't send that signal as hard to the computer. Right after that, it's a very, very important button if you live in a state or Canada where it snows. Heated steering wheel. Oh my god, this is so good. This is so important. This is amazing. When you turn that on, I noticed these part and these two part of the steering heats up the most. I don't think there's any element that heats these two corners and this side. So I noticed this part and these two part heats up. And to be honest with you, that's exactly where you're supposed to hold. So that works great. And it is a 2-liter turbo sports all-wheel drive, so you have a differential lock. All it does is it's make sure it gets the power to the front wheel or the rear wheel all the time, up to 40 kilometers. Once you accelerate after 40 kilometers, this automatically comes out of the differential lock. So yeah, it is not an off-road vehicle. It does not have a proper 4x4 system. This is an all-wheel drive system, so you can do, you know, light snow and stuff, sticky situations you can get out of. It's by any means, it's not an off-road vehicle. Moving forward to the instrument gauge cluster. First of all, this steering is a adjustable steering, so you can unlock this up and down. Very good flexibility. You're looking at the steering wheel. A lot of buttons, a lot of them. On this side, you have the audio controls, so volume up, down, track up, down, mute, and mode. You change it from radio to Bluetooth or whatever. Over here, you have your phone controls. On the right hand side, it's the cruise control selection. I should start the vehicle and show you how that works. It is a push start button. If you didn't realize what I did, you press the brake pedal and start. I'm sure you're aware of that, how to do that. Now on the steering wheel, you have the cruise option, so you press the cruise, that lights up, and then you click down to set, and then while you're in the cruising, you go up and down to increase or decrease your speed, and then cancel to get off the cruise. This is a very interesting button. All it does is when you click this button, it shows you the steering driving modes, so normal, sport, and comfort. Because it's an electronic steering wheel, the electronic motor on the pump can adjust that vigorosity, can adjust that for you. So I like driving on comfort. Like a lot of people you're gonna see that say that driving in comfort is the most relaxing, and if you really want to go on the sport mood, you can. All it is their steering response becomes really sharp, which is great. But this is a big bulky vehicle which doesn't have sport suspension, so you have sharp steering, but everything else is sloppy. I personally prefer comfort because now the steering is sloppy, that lines up with everything else, so I know exactly how the rest of the vehicle is going to respond. Awesome. Now the instrument cluster, it's one of my favorite clusters. Definitely not the best or anything, but I just like the simplicity and all the information you can have from here. So of course it's your tacho, and right inside the tacho is your engine temperature gauge, and under that it's your transmission. It says park, and on the right hand side you have your speedo, and right inside the speedo it's your fuel gauge, and under that it's your exterior temperature, and on the middle has a lot of information. So right now with the fuel I have, it's 946 kilometer of range. It's interesting fact, you see that small Santa Fe and there's this gas can, and when the vehicle is running, it looks like something is going from the vehicle back to the can. So it it feels like it's a hybrid, that it's charging the battery or something. It's not a hybrid, it's not charging a battery. What it's doing is sending oil back to the tank. I wish it did that. I really wish. It would be so good. I could drive around and get my full tank of gas, and I hope it did 91 or 94. Then I can put that on my AMG or my 300ZX. Life would have been so good. It doesn't do that. Okay, going back to the instrument cluster. It shows your average fuel economy. I have 9.1 liter per 100. That's pretty good because I do drive it like a granny. Now, if you want to change that screen, what you have to do is press this button. Every time you press this button, it changes to a different one. So power off, that the second screen is for your audio controls. So since the radio is not running right now, we won't show much options. I don't want to run the radio because of the copyright reasons. Next, services. So I usually change my oil myself, and I usually change it every 8,000 kilometers because I do use full synthetic oil and a higher quality oil filter, so it shouldn't be a problem. Next is the user settings, so door settings. So basic on that case, so you press this to come down the menu. If you want to go inside, click this, which is basically an enter. Door, and then you have the auto door lock, auto door unlock, two press unlock, all of that. Go back. Lamp, do you like a welcome lamp? Headlamp delay, yes, I like a headlamp delay. I do like a welcome light. All it is there's a light behind the door handle. At night when you come to it, those lights light up, so yeah, I find it cool. Auto triple turn. Auto triple turn is basically when you turn your indicator and let it off, it blinks for 3 times. So if you're changing the lane, you just turn it on and let it go, it will blink for 3 times. If you turn that off, it will just blink once. Sometimes that's hindrance for people following you in your back. And then settings, give it temperature unit. We're gonna go Celsius because this is Canada. Welcome sound, I don't like it at all. Average fuel reset, I leave it at manual reset because I don't want to see my average fuel every tank. And then it comes to service interval. As I said, I leave it at 8,000 kilometers and 6 months, which is not 8,000 kilometers is right. 6 months is not true because I would probably change it every month and a half because I drive a lot. All right, back. That's that. And this black section, it doesn't light up. Let's really see if I can show that to you guys. Okay, it does light up. So airbag, seat belt, brake, battery, and oil level. And over here you have the power steering and the check engine light and the key present over there. Another very important feature is the window visor. Automakers, please make sure your window visor extends. If it doesn't extend from here, make sure it extends from somewhere else, because when you're sitting here and it's right over about here now, and the sun will still hit your face from the side and it's not cool. This passes that test. And on top of it, you do have a vanity light if you should need, and it's the same case with the passenger side, your freaking vanity light. An interesting thing is, if you turn the light on and if you just put it back, it closes itself. Back to the center console. I don't have the navigation system, which I don't really care, so this is a very basic audio set. I do have Sirius XM, and I do not have backup camera. It's just a very standard, audio. The radio functions, the controls, the tune and whatnot, whatever. It does have a CD. Duh. Next, going down, this is basically your HVAC control. It's very important that you need to know exactly what it does. Front windshield, rear windshield. This keeps the air inside and this allows the air from coming in. You can click on the AC button to turn the AC on manually, but if you leave it on auto and select a temperature, let's start it again like I do. Leave it on auto, select a temperature, let's say I have 73 degrees Fahrenheit. It will turn AC or heat, whatever you need to keep that temperature. And also it does have dual zone climate control, so if you change the temperature using this dial, it changes the temperature of the whole vehicle. But if you use this dial, it will automatically light up the dual and bring it down, or vice versa. You can turn it off by just pressing that dual off and everything's the same. On the passenger side, again, very plain and simple. What you have is this window control and the lock and the unlock on top. That is pretty much it. I really like this accent. This driftwood is the word for it. Going down is this area. It's one of my favorite area because I threw all my change and my business cards and everything around here, and I utilize that area like nobody's business. Over here, as you can see, there's two auxiliary ports. It's my two phones and my dash cam, and there is an 3.5mm jack for aux code and another USB, but never use them. Coming down, of course, it does have heated seats. Driver's side, passenger side, and it does have proximity sensors in the back. So sensors off, I leave it on because it's very helpful. And then your coffee mugs, and then this one, another place that I can keep all the cards. So cool. Comes the armrest. You open the armrest. This place is huge. I actually have a full-size tissue box in there, if you guys can see. This is another place I keep some medication and my pen, because I spent a lot of time in the car. That's a big box. I am very pleasantly surprised and happy with the amount of space Hyundai allowed in this vehicle, especially for me, a traveling salesman. This is amazing, and I'll show you some other spots in the back that's wonderful for me. That's the front. Let's cut it down and let's go to the back side. The rear passenger side door, and if you notice, privacy shield. So from the factory, the rear windows came tinted, and we had to tint the front window. But on top of that, we do have this privacy shield. I really like this idea. Personally, it's one of my favorite options because sometimes if I have a really long day and if I can sneak around, and I do take a nap in the back, and I just put the privacy shield up. Don't ask me why, because I'm tired, and sometimes I have 14-15 hour days. So on my drive back home, instead of being tired, if I can take a half an hour nap, it's better for me, because then I'm not driving tired, which is not safe. Another feature of this vehicle is it does have heated rear seat. So there's the button. I don't know why they would even have heated rear seat. Why they didn't give me a navigation and took the heated rear seat off? Like, seriously, who needs heated rear seats? Anyway, over here again, that's a very decent size area. You can't have 4 bottles, but you can definitely have 2. For the rear seats, the HVAC controls are basically in the door. You can control the airflow from there. It's not on the center console like a lot of other vehicles. And it works. It's not any different. IKEA did a phenomenal job in installing adjustable rear seats. My wife drives a Ford Escape, and it doesn't have adjustable rear seats. Their seats are pretty straight up in the back, and in a long drive, your back gets tired because you're sitting straight. On an adjustable rear seat, an adjustable rear seat makes life so much easier. So here's the adjust. You can bring it up or down, and you can also lay them flat and then have the whole thing go flat down. I will have a video of that. Pretty decent space in the back. I'm 5'11", and I sit behind, if you can see. My driver's seat is well behind the B pillar, and I have enough space to, sit comfortably. And of course, it does have an armrest. When the armrest comes down, it's a nice and solid piece. And as you notice, there's no coffee cup area in the back. You're wrong. Right here. There's your coffee cup spot. I like it. as I said earlier, I'm a traveling salesman, so I need a lot of space to put my brochures and whatnot. And what I like about this is this vehicle has a lot of space hidden. So over here I have a little bit of sample, and of course the toolkit. I'm debating if I should keep the toolkit here or not, because I do have a flat tire kit which is much smaller and leaves this area for me to put more stuff in. And this vehicle does come with a pancake size spare, which is right over here. So, and you can access that spare tire through here. Just take your key, turn it, it will come, and then you take this wrench, turn, the tire will drop. Another space is right here. That's where I keep all of my brochures and all the other small knickknacks that I need to keep. It is actually pretty deep. If you notice over here, my hand, it's about 6.5, 7 inch, and this place is even deeper. It's about an 8-inch crevice. I'm a big fan of these areas because I can carry a lot of stuff and I don't have to take this space. So what I do is I keep all of them under there hidden, and then when I do go for my grocery or whatever, just throw them in and then take them out. I don't have to move my important stuff. This is what I meant when you put the seats down, you get a lot of space to carry stuff. So you can actually put a 4x8 from all the way from here to the passenger side. You do have to put the passenger side seat down. If you notice, sawdust, because I did it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Congratulations, you have made it to the end. Please hit the subscribe button so that you can be up to date for my next coming video.